What is up, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think of my shirt?
I was going to say about that. I noticed last night on Emerald Isle's Paranormal Researchers, I noticed you had a snazzy shirt on. You get another shirt on the night. Looking very
Oh yeah, look,
snazzy.
look, 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 look. It's Bigfoot. It's Bigfoot.
Where's Pete? Pete, he's got Bigfoot on his shirt.
If this was a gift, you jackass.
Who was that? Who was it from, may I ask?
My mother, she was down on one of her trips to Colorado and happened to spot it. And the parts where she goes are big Bigfoot touristy traps. So
Yeah. Who have we all got in the chat tonight? We have Ghost Squad Scotland. I wonder who that could be, that handsome fellow from Ghost Squad Scotland. There he's there. We've got
I know St. Patrick's
Lawrence.
Day tomorrow, but Chris, you
Yes.
shouldn't come to a show drunk.
Very good. Lawrence, we've got Dots there in the chat. We've got Stephanie. I nearly called you Stephen there, Stephanie. And then we've got Ken in the bottom, down the bottom there. So we'll just have to let it warm up. My God, I'm saying all the names correctly.
I know. Who the hell are you?
I'm sorry, but Chris was replaced the other day there.
I'm
an alien for the different galaxy.
You know, Marvel, Secret Invasion, Scrolls. Oh, fuck you.
I'm going to say this to know if Jenny's watching. Honestly, that was a really good show last night on Jenny's channel. Her and Louise and everybody on. Sorry, I couldn't stay long because my back was absolutely killing me. It was really sore, but I'll lay in my bed and watch the rest of it, you know.
Achy breaky old man.
Oh, I'll tell you. See, in a couple of years, I'll be like Stephen Hawkins.
Yeah.
Take me about an hour to type out a word.
Jenny and her famous Irish goodbye. You know, that sounds like a band name. Jenny and the Irish Goodbye. You know, little love
Jenny
songs,
and the Irish
heartfelt
goodbye.
ballads, little Celtic. I think that would actually be kind of good.
There you go, Jenny. You and Louise and Niall.
Between that and the paraporn, they could really make some money.
Oh, I need to bring something up tonight. Where are you, Pete, tonight? You're somewhere there, Pete, somewhere in the ether. Pete has got a new invention. Was it paranormal? What was it? Paranormal
Ectolube.
Ectoplasm, Ectolube. I'm telling you, you need to go with that. You'd become a multi-millionaire. I could see you now. Your dad would be proud of you.
I mean, think about it. You know, we're a bunch of knobheads, you know, running around with fancy toys in the middle of the night, hoping to get some action. It writes itself. You want to know what's real bad? You want to know what's real bad? I found this out. Apparently, there's some parents out there who let their young children, I'm talking like almost newborn, watch this show to help keep them calm down. And we talk about shit like that.
Wow. There he's there. There's the man himself, the inventor of paranormal lube, the ectoplasm lube, or whatever it's called. There he's there in the chat. See, so Pete, when are you starting production of the ectoplasm lube?
Is it glow in the dark?
That's a good point. That'd be really handy. I think the money you would save in electricity.
Oh dear Lord. Give somebody a fucking seizure while in the middle of the act. Oh shit, just shaking.
There he's there.
Oh,
there he's there. Bring him up. Go and bring him up. We'll bring him up. It was Ecto.
Ectoloon. That's an instrument.
Is that actually an instrument? How do you play that? Do you pluck it?
The loon? No. Is it? Oh, I think I might be thinking of something else.
Oh my God.
Comes in flavors and colors.
Oh my God.
Oh, God.
I'm telling you, we need to get this stocked up in the, what do you call it, Bonkers shop.
Set up an Amazon shop. We'll run the affiliate links to the show. Oh God. It's bad that we can actually have a game plan behind this.
Well, I must admit, right? But here's the thing, right? That show last night we were on with Jenny, that was a good show last night.
That was interesting.
I mean that guy with the cloak was it Wraith Hunters, Texas Wraith Hunters, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was interesting. Then you told me the night because my back was that sore last night. I was taking some stuff and I couldn't see the chat very good. And what was it? Pete put it was, what was it again? The werewolves that you thought it was
I
maybe.
can't remember the exact term that Pete used for the guy with the cloak last night. Pete, if I know that you're watching and once you have a chance to breathe, let us know. But this was something that his dad Mike actually brought up during
No
a,
knowledge.
a chat on some of the occult rumors surrounding Nazi Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And it immediately brought me to that. I was like, that dude was going to be eaten. He was going to be ritualistically killed, then eaten. And they would have not been able to find him.
There he's put it there, the Vargar and the Kai. Oh, good, my God, you better read that.
Coyotero. Yeah.
Corretero. Yeah.
Thank you.
I
It's like,
minded Mike the Naked Bigfoot talking about that. Minded we had them on talking about the Nazis.
yeah, that's what I just said.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
You daft bastard.
I am old and decrepit. Oh, but Stephen Hawkins. Ooh.
Oh man.
You can push me. When we go to Yellowstone, you can push the wheelchair with me, and Ken Lucky will push me into a volcano or something like that. But oh dear, officer, it was a tragic accident.
Why would I waste you in the one super volcano that's big enough to practically cause an extinction level event?
See, that's the thing. That's a good side way to go into this, right? What is your opinion on the Yellowstone super volcano? See, everybody's saying, "Oh, we're doomed. We're doomed. I tell you, we're doomed." I don't think it's got to get off for another 1,000 years or something stupid like that before I go off the morals. After me saying that.
Well, there's ways that the eruption can be prevented that are probably going to start coming out here into the public eye a bit sooner. But funny you should say that because you got to remember what was it? Almost 8 years ago, 7 years ago, where they said the latest estimates where the Yellowstone supervolcano were almost 100 times larger than they actually thought beforehand. That thing goes. I'm in the blast zone, dude.
But see, that's the thing. That's not the only super volcano there is. I mean, there's a few around about the world, under the sea and stuff like that.
There is. But Yellowstone is the big one of concern for me because, again, I'm in the blast zone.
Yeah. So that film, was it 2012? You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get out that quickly. No one would.
No, I don't think camper vans could go that fast if there was an explosion actually happened behind you. There's Sonny the Naked Bigfoot there. Dad obsessed on the Vargar and collected all kinds of stuff
about him, and I said, yeah. Like Mike pointed out, there was a lot of places dealing with the Nazis where a lot of people went in, but nobody came out.
I know. That was
and
that
Lewis,
castle in Germany. Oh,
there's Lewis there, looking like he's possibly on some sort of substance. Hey, we're not here to judge.
That's just Lewis. Lewis is in Spain, living the life. He's probably sitting outside the new watching the stars.
Those Spanish mamacitas.
I think Dakota's been on something. Obviously, with his sexy shirt on there. I was going to buy a Caribbean shirt, but I've actually got a t-shirt on the night that says skeleton riding a motorcycle.
I don't know. I've just been feeling funky lately. I don't know why.
Yeah, you sure the aliens? That was funny last night when Jenny brought up how you do it in space and the 0G, wasn't it, with your wife? That's a good point. That, I mean, has the aliens up there?
Fucking Neil Story was watching that part, man.
I know, but he's watching the night again. He's watching your show tonight. But here's the thing. There's a thing, right? Obviously, did they have like 0G up there, or have they mastered the way to like stop you floating about?
Artificial gravity.
Yeah. But it would be interesting, 0G. I'm sure Pete in the chat, he'd be interested in that kind of thing, wouldn't you, Pete?
I don't know, because when you really think about it, say like astronauts while they're in space, if they were to go to start crying, their tears actually just build up right at the eye sockets.
I've heard of that.
And their fluids just build up like that.
Yeah.
So you got fluids coming out of other orifices unless they do something to collect it.
They did do something to collect it. They've got like a giant nappy on.
I know.
Yeah.
But still think about it. If they're strapping down and getting freaky up in 0G.
Was that knowledge within aliens being anal probing again? WD-40. WD-40 is a very handy lube, I must admit.
Yet you still creak and moan.
I know. I'm needing to squirt some under monsters and that because I'm getting off his ear this weather. So, what weird and wonderful news is happening today?
Yeah, you gotta. I feel like there's one thing we should probably address. You were just bringing it up before the show, at the very least. And that is. What the fuck? God damn it!
Bring it up for everybody. Come on.
Never fornicate with a light steep whoopee wench in pressurized lingerie without ectolube. Now in Martian melon flavor. God.
Yes, and I'll give you, if you want to buy it, Pete's details on Twitter. He's got to be making it in the shed in his farm. I hope there's only natural products in that, Pete. You know, natural products.
God. Fuck. What was I gonna say? Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, you're going to talk about the Egypt's eye.
Yeah, when don't we roast those motherfuckers?
Yeah.
The upcoming total solar eclipse that's going to be here in the States.
No, you were you weren't going to mention that. You were going to mention something else about that other company.
You really want to again? I don't know.
It's up to you.
I've been kind of debating on whether or not we should get ahead of it.
Been doing a lot, have you?
Yeah, I'm morally torn when it comes to this.
We'll leave that to after then. I'll tell you one day about solar eclipse.
So yeah, let's address it at the end because I'm kind of morally torn. For the short version, for those of you wondering what the hell is going on, let's just say we heard from someone that we never thought could. Don't bring that up. That's spam. Oh, sheep.
I'm not bringing it up. I'm just looking at it.
I saw the message that came through on one of the Twitch channels, but basically someone we never thought we would heard from again reached out, and there's possibly going to be some controversy stirring up, and they're going to try to drag us into it.
There you go. And just I would like to say, Pete's new product is coming out on the market. No sheep or squirrels were harmed in the manufacturing of Ecolube.
Considering the stories that your father would come out with, I think you're going to have to be a little bit more specific in your warning labels there, Pete.
Yeah. But anyway, right, was it the 8th of April? Lunar eclipse. Total solar eclipse means solar eclipse, right? Solar eclipse. What's your opinion on it? Because everybody in TikToks went mad.
Now, I will say, so I like to watch the solar eclipse. It's not going to be all that impressive from where I'm at, but naturally, please wear protective eyewear. Don't spray your eyes with sunscreen. I can't believe the last solar eclipse that came through here, they actually had to put that out.
Bees.
And no, it's not likely to be an apocalyptic event, even though 2 major cicada broods are going to be blossoming at the same time, right at the path of totality for the solar eclipse. So I imagine it would look very biblical because there's going to be thousands of those damn bugs.
We're doomed, I tell you that. We're doomed.
No,
I don't think anything's going to happen.
No, everybody's like, it seems like every other week there's going to be some new apocalypse. I was like, I'm sorry.
Oh, good God. Pete, don't say that, Pete. For God's sake, man.
If I'm not mistaken,
I've been having bad dreams about it.
Well, if he's talking about the cicadas, he's about where they're at.
I think he's talking about the eclipse.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of weird things have been going on. I'll admit, some weird shit's been going on. But
why? Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what were you saying?
I was just going to say about the solar eclipse. I mean, it's quite interesting. I mean, it happens on a certain day, which I find interesting. It's the same as what was that I was talking before the show? It's the same day was it Jesus was crucified or whatever, but it was also the same day as what was that? I've went and forgot that now. You've put me off, man. You've put me off. My old brain can't work. But it's the same. Is it no?
Oh,
There used to be
you were
13
trying to
months in a
say that
year.
there was.
No, there
What's
used to be
that?
13 months. There used to be 13 months in a year, but
Yeah,
now there's
yeah,
12.
yeah, yeah.
But it's happening on the same day. There would be 13 months.
Yeah, there used to be
Yeah.
13 months in the year, and they're thinking on the number 13 and all of that. You know, all of these numerological science. I was like, you know what? Maybe something does go down. It's the 2020s. You don't fucking know what's happening anymore.
I mean, honestly, I don't think there's got to be 3 days of darkness and zombies roaming the lands. There's folk on TikTok saying, "Oh, there's 3 days of darkness. Even if your family come to the door, don't let them in. Don't let them in. They're going to get you. Stock
I
up on
know.
loads of food and water." I mean, right, look, you've got to remember, I'm sorry if I'm going to offend some people here, but some of them are religious fanatics that's putting this out, right? There's people on there that's putting the stuff out. They said last year that the apocalypse was coming, it never happened. And the year before that, they said the apocalypse was coming, it never happened. And the year before that, they said the apocalypse was coming, it never happened. You see where I'm going with this?
Yep.
These people, this is how they get the gullible people on TikTok. And let's face it, there is a lot of gullible people on there. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anything really is going to happen. I will say this. I do think the problems we've got to do with war and stuff like that, something might go down there.
Possibly.
You know?
But even then, how much? Granted, yes, it's a fucked up situation that's going on with the wars in Europe right now, and too many people, innocent people on both sides, are getting slaughtered, and there's all sorts of shit that's going down in the world right now. But honestly, like I said, you know, we've had apocalypses since 2012.
Yeah.
Nothing has ever happened. There may have been a couple of weird things here and there, but why do they honestly keep trying? You
That's
keep
quite
trying
interesting.
every year, and it's getting ramped up to like every other week. It seems.
You see what Pete's put there, Son of the Naked Bigfoot, dreaming of a place I've never been before. 7 people standing in the shadows welcoming me. That's interesting, that, isn't it?
7 people standing in the shadows, giving even Pete's. What we know about Pete's history, that is just something interesting.
Well, everybody knows where Pete stays is a really live, active place with strange things that will go bump in the night. You know, even in his house, strange things go bump in the night. I mean, you know, oh, for God's sake.
Lewis!
Stop eating the CBD sweets! Lewis, save them for me.
Like you need any more CBD.
He's been on the sangria. That's what it is. He's on the sangria. It's on the sangria. That's what it is. He's on the sangria.
Hey, I don't blame him.
Nah.
I don't blame him. That sangria is good, man.
Do you think so? I think it's disgusting.
But anything's good when you got a pretty enough women talking you into it.
That's very true. I'm going to go back to the solar eclipse. I don't think anything's going to happen, to be purely honest with you. I think it's going to last for about 5 minutes and go away, and then that's that.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the folk will be running about saying, "Oh, it's coming back in 5 years and we're doomed. We're doomed." That's what they're going to do. All the crazy, mad Bible bashers out there.
Okay, first off, I'm going to say this.
What?
If you look at the history of the Bavarian Illuminati, right? You know, I'm going to probably answer my own question earlier, why they keep trying this. If you look at the history of the Bavarian Illuminati, what was it that helped them get into power? Dumbasses who didn't understand how a solar eclipse worked.
Yeah. They knew how it worked. They knew how
Yeah,
it worked.
they knew how
They
it
could
worked.
say,
They took
"Well,
advantage of it.
we've made the sun go away. If you don't give us any more money, we'll not bring it
No,
back." And of
exactly.
course,
It's like
everybody
the
did it.
sun's gonna go away at this time frame. We can help bring it back if you follow us. Of course, everybody thought they were crazy. Blah 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 blah. Sun went away. They realized, oh shit, those guys were onto something. Maybe they can actually help.
Mhm.
Follow what they said, and wow, the sun magically came back.
Yeah, yeah. It's like there is a lot. I'm going to say this now. There's a lot of brainwashers on TikTok. I'm going to say that right now. There's actually a few cults I've noticed on there.
It's
They'll
not
do
that
anything.
hard.
Yeah, I mean, there's people on there that like started off with like one subscriber, and now they've got like maybe like 1 million like followers, and they're mad. They're
Yeah,
absolutely raving lunatics.
I
I
know,
mean, let's.
and I will address this because we've had some guests on that constantly throw have the cults mentalities of their followers
Mm,
get thrown into the fire. And honestly, it's one of those things that people don't understand how that actually functions. But when it comes to social media, the
yeah.
problem is across every major platform
Hmm.
is the fact that it is a place that promotes a sort of mob mentality. And that
Yeah.
is when people tend to act the most stupid and try to follow the leader. That's when they're
Yeah.
most easily manipulated. As far as going for cults, yeah, there's a few of them that are started up there. People contribute to the profits of cults all the time when they go to buy their tea.
It's like kind of it's kind of like
Thoughts?
the. Let's look at. I'll have you know I drink about 4 cups of tea a day. I love my tea now. That's what I drink now.
You
It's
better look
tea.
up some of the brands that you buy at the grocer. I'm just saying.
I
Because
get
they are associated with well known cults.
well, no, those stuff that I get because I get it imported. But that doesn't matter about that. But anyway, look, what was I going to say there? What was I going to say? It's this. I've put me off again. Oh my god!
Well,
Right.
I'm not your
So
type,
we're talking
hopefully.
about tea. No, we're talking. What were we talking about before the tea?
Tea,
Cults.
cults.
I right.
Yes.
Right. Flat Earth Society. That is a flipping cult. I'm telling you the now. They've got zero proof. I mean zero proof, right? And they just
It's the
believe in
early
this utter
stages.
shit.
Honestly, that
It's
that's somebody
annoying.
we have got to get on. Well, not just the flat earther. That we still offer that debate to anybody that wants to try us. Come on, we'll be we'll treat you
Hmm.
fair.
Hmm.
But we need to actually have a cult specialist come on and like talk about what's the signs of it. How easy it is for people to go into cults, maybe without even fucking realizing.
Who do we know that's a cult specialist? Nobody. Obviously, Mike the Naked Bigfoot, he was kind of an expert in that because he did a video. You ever seen that live that he did where he's talking about is it snake? Can the snakes
Yeah.
speak to him? Yeah, and how they invited them in and stuff like that. That's an absolutely fascinating video that he talks about. But
No, I don't know. I'm talking about we should probably get some of these people that actually go to infiltrate cults to get people out.
Scientology,
Major
that's a
cult.
cult.
That's the
That's
cult.
one of the biggest. I
Well,
mean, that's one of the
and that's
biggest.
one of those. Okay, technically speaking, the main difference that separates Scientology from a religion and a cult is the fact that the guy that started Scientology is officially dead. That's
Yeah.
it.
What was his name? Wormwood Hubbard or something like that?
Something like
Hubbard.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I mean, he started it off, but then it changed when he died. It was like all privatized and
Mm-hmm.
now who is it that runs that now? What's his
Tom
name?
Cruise.
No, I know Tom Cruise. What's his name? What's the other guy in the chat? What's the other name of that guy that's in the that runs Scientology?
Yeah.
You
L.
know,
Ron
what
Hubbard.
is that? L. Ron Hubbard, yeah, that was him. What's that, Lewis? Chris, you have loads of weight. Huh? What? I don't
Lost
get that.
Lost of weight.
Lost. Ah, I know. It's called stress.
Yeah, at least there is a perk to stress.
Yes. There's many things I'm dealing with, but I'm not talking about that tonight. But we're talking about this. But anyway, yeah, it's L. Ron Hubbard when he set that up, it wasn't really a cult. It was all right. It was just folk taking tests and all that. But did you know that they turned on him before he died?
Mm-hmm.
They turned on him. His own
As
people
you
turned
usually
on
do.
him. Yeah, and this is quite an interesting. This is actually quite an interesting subject because everybody that talks about the Scientologists usually gets attacked by them. Have you ever noticed that?
Oh yeah.
Pete, what's your opinion on Scientology? There you go. I'm just back had to turn on the Jurassic Park security. He's got wireframes right about his gear, yeah.
No, I mean, I read up on Scientology, and it is interesting. I mean, fuck, even Elvis was allegedly looking into it before he died. But nevertheless,
there's Tom
it
Cruise.
does
He's
kind
a
of.
member.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is one of the worst examples that go into cult territory.
What about John Travolta? He's a member of Scientology.
He's another big one, yeah.
Hey, Jenny. Good to see you, Jenny.
Hello, Jenny.
But
sorry, I think Forrest Gump.
See, if you talk about, honestly, a lot of people have been attacked by Scientologists just by talking. See, doing radio shows and stuff like that. I bet you'll get a visit now for a Scientologist. You were talking about us. You're not allowed to talk about us. We're not a cult. Would you like to join? $500.
Like, no, all right. How about this? You want to plead your case? You want to say what you need to say? Come on for an interview.
Do you know that Scientologists? Do you know? Have you ever read the Scientologist Bible?
Bits and bits.
And some of them will deny this. Some of them will deny this. Do you ken that Scientologists actually think they're an ancient race of aliens that came from a faraway star system? And it's all about today with volcanoes and all this kind of madness. I mean, but then again, I know Robert may have been right about that. You don't know.
You may have been honest. You may have been honest something. Let's fucking face it. We've seen enough weird shit. We've seen enough weird shit to where the Heaven's Gate cult actually had some logic behind it now. Fuck.
I was just about to mention the Heaven's Gate. I mean, they obviously just committed suicide, a lot of them, today with the, what do you call it? Today with the comet coming. Yeah. They all taking the poison and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
some of them survived.
Haley's Bob comet, that there was going to be a UFO in disguise, and they go to kill themselves off. Their souls were going to be collected by this UFO, and they would get taken to a better place.
Yeah.
I was like, unfortunately.
Pete, I triple dog here. Any Scientologist to grow a pair of balls and set foot on the farm. Don't you worry, Pete. If we find some Scientologists, we'll send them to you.
I feel like that could be turned into a country song, man. I don't know. I've been kind of a music. I've been kind of a music brain lately.
What's your opinion on talking about religions and stuff here? What's your opinion on Jehovah's Witnesses?
Why do they always got to send the beautiful women to my door?
I usually get the guy standing with the briefcase.
I know they send women at my door, and I'm just like, okay, this is the recruiting laws for Satanism.
I mean, a lot of folks say that about Satanism. I mean, I wouldn't say Satanism as a cult.
It depends on which. Okay, you have to be very careful because there are some legitimate organizations that use the Satanist imagery basically as an FU to how religion has pretty much cultivated society nowadays, but they're trying to promote more science. But there are some groups that are legit Satanists that do perform rituals that you do have to be careful of. Yeah. And usually they're the ones that hide themselves.
This is what I say. I've met Satanists and everybody are like, "Oh, you support Satan and all that." No, look. So look, you don't understand. You can be a Satanist and you don't need to worship the devil. Good God, I ken Satanists that are actually into good causes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's look. I've met Mindy. What's his name? Come on, what's his name? Was it Ken or what was his name? As
Yeah.
I've not heard from him for a while actually. I mean, look, Satanism, and then you've got like, the people that actually go into it real deal and what you call it, sacrifice stuff and all that kind of. Get what I mean? You could do that with any religion, though, if you really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you really think about it, I mean, let's take Christianity for instance, right? I mean, Christianity, everybody follows Christianity, but
Early Christianity had sacrifice.
early Christianity used to burn witches because they had magic and stuff, right?
Yep.
So why did they no burn? Why did they no burn Jesus? Because he did magic too.
Kind of hypocritical, but
It is very hypocritical. It is. It's like that's why I don't really believe in
and
Christianity or
you
that
can
kind of
really
stuff.
go into it because there is historical records that do indicate that Yeshua was a real dude at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this: this whole we loved him because we nailed him to a cross, abused him, did all this horrible stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, that just sounds like the gaslighting you would expect an abusive partner to take. I hit you because I love you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I think some religions. I see the Bible, right? I don't think the Bible that's out there, like the what do you call it, the King James one, which I can see. I've got out there because I've read it. So I just wanted to see when you've got to remember they when they wrote that Bible, it was 500 years after Jesus died.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, at least. So you think about that. They had to make up their own stuff, and it's the same with a lot of religions out there. A lot of the religion out there that's designed to basically keep women in check. Let's put it that way. And it keeps women in check, and it also gives rules so as the men are the higher ups. And I think that's totally wrong. I think it really is totally wrong. Somebody needs to say something about it.
And you can even
Get
look
struck
into
with lightning in the new.
look into like the Apocryphicum, which is basically a collection of books that have been found to have been purposely omitted from the modern Bible. The story of like Adam and Eve, like shortly after they left the garden. Adam was a fucking dick. If you read
Yeah,
that, he was.
yeah.
And some of
I
the
mean, it's quite
stories I
interesting
can
there
tell
that
you from
he
my
put.
encounters, yeah, he was.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. But Pete's put there, son of the naked Bigfoot. Sacrifices are just cruel unless they actually serve a purpose, and that is true. They
Yeah.
serve a purpose.
It's one of those
I mean,
things where
look,
absolute last resort type thing. But you
yeah,
really got to think about it. If you look into nearly every culture out there throughout history,
hmm
people were put into this mentality that they saw themselves being sacrificed as one of the highest honors they could have.
yeah. Look at the Inca. The Inca
Exactly.
sacrificed everybody. I mean, a lot of people wonder how the Inca died out, and there's loads of people out there like, "Oh, it was the apocalypse, and they all died." And I'll tell you exactly what killed the Inca. The Spanish, first of all, brought over diseases that they never encountered. They came Ecuadors or whatever they're called, right? They brought over like weird viruses which killed a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But see, if you ever go to the Inca ruins, there's these big pits and they're full of water. That was their drinking water. But do you know what they were doing? They were sacrificing people and then throwing their dead bodies into the water. Then they were drinking the water.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what killed the Inca.
It was a contributing factor.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, dude, one of my earliest ancestors we were actually able to find was ancient Inca and was considered one of the most well-preserved mummies in history.
Wow.
Yeah, well, interesting little fact about me. Apparently, I'm part South American.
You don't look it.
Like, it's in the 1 percentile. So,
It's in the
according
it's
to the
in the
DNA
genetic
test.
makeup. It's in the genetic makeup. But look, there's
Makeup?
going to makeup. Oh my God, I've went mad. Jenny, help me! I went mad. I went mad, didn't I? I don't know what's going on.
You have
I
went?
can't. I've
You
went
have
mad. I
went?
can't. Did you? Oh, talking about shows. Did you see the Chris and Alan show on the other day? Oh my God.
Was that your little test stream that you were trying to work?
Aye, and it all just went terribly wrong. I think Jenny was rolling about laughing because right, I'm going to admit this. I don't clean my car during the winter months, right? I always wait till it's spring and then I clean my car, like a lot of people do, right? My car's dusty
Right.
inside it, and Alan's sitting next to me, and I know he's watching this now, and he kept going on about orbs. It's dust, right? Oh, look at the orb! Look at it. Kept going on about orbs. Did you not watch that? It's only 15 minutes long. And he kept going on, and on and on and on about orbs, right? And then the phone fell, and I went, "Oh, Jesus, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I've been tugging my wire." then for the best bit, Alan was getting annoyed with me because I was saying I didn't believe in orbs, and he says, "I'm no an orb, I'm a knob." He called himself
You're
a knob.
breaking that, man. You know that?
He said he called himself a knob on camera. It's on Facebook if anybody would like to go and watch it.
Oh, God. Yeah, we got to get that
But
sorted out if you're going to keep trying to use the app.
I know how to fix it, but I'll talk to you after the show about that. But anyway,
Figures.
it was a test stream. It was a test stream. So I was tugging my wire.
Yeah, once again,
the phone fell out.
You're trying to get me to play tech support from how far away?
And what do you call it? Alan called himself a knob. So otherwise, everything went fine on the test stream, you know. But getting back into religions and stuff like that, I mean, Christianity. Would you say Christianity is a cult?
Again, the only separation is the fact that their major figures are dead.
Yeah. So you could say the same about other religions in the world. You know?
Yeah.
It's look, we don't know what happens in the end. I heard that it was a psychic that told me once that a psychic told me this once, right? There's people out there that believe they're going to go to heaven because they've always good in life. There's people out there that believe in other religions, but I think we all go to the same place. And that's what she told me. We all go to the same place.
Here's another thing. And it's something that kind of ticks me off when it comes to a lot of UFO circles because I'm seeing the religious aspect of it slowly leak into that as well. And if we're going to actually have any legitimacy, we need to kill that where it stands now. Yeah. But if you look at every major religion, what is one thing they all have in common? There's one thing in particular I want to point out.
Right.
They all have some sort of savior, idea of a savior coming to save everybody.
Exactly.
Every single one of these religions are taught around the idea that if they do good, someone good will come and fix all the problems in the world. In the UFO field, you get talked about like secret space programs and trying to track down certain rogue satellites that are belonging to black government and all this. And they say, oh, we just need to sit and wait for someone else to do it. Here's the thing. Why do all these things want us to sit and on our asses expecting somebody else to do the work? Why do they all want everybody sitting on their asses waiting for someone else to do the work? When we ourselves, when the very figures these religions claim to respect, claim to admire, claim to follow, these very same figures all say, you all had the power to do this by yourself. Why are you waiting?
It's all control, innit? It's all control. Because let's face it, if we go to Christianity, they're waiting for Jesus to return, the Messiah to come back, right? And then if we go to Islam, they're all waiting for Muhammad to come back.
Mhm.
And then if we go to other religions like whatever Scientologists, they think the spaceship's got to come down and take them all away and all that kind of stuff, right? I think we should all be working together and no waiting for the people or whatever they were. I really do. And I think that's the only way we're going to move forward in this world.
You know, Robin, one of our followers, Robin, she asked a very good question. She was just suggesting something we could look into for our show, and I think this is a very valid point. She was asking, how can we on Earth start to prepare for galactic life? Welcoming the ETs. First off, a lot of them are optimistic about what's coming. They are when it talking from the ET side of things. I can tell you some of my latest stories that haven't gotten around to sharing yet. But the main thing they're concerned about, and it's why they have the process in place that they're going to do, is that they are concerned about the fact that we look for every excuse in the book to try to hate on other people just because they're different.
I know. Yeah.
And we need
like
to stop that.
Yeah.
We need to be able to work together.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, right? Say there was an alien species that landed on Earth that looked exactly the same as us, but they were blue.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All the hatred towards African Americans, all the hatred towards us as people like that would turn
Mm-hmm.
to the blue people. And then eventually, after maybe 100 years or so, we'd all be getting on together. And then red people would arrive. And then they would all gang up on the red people. That's humans. We need to stop racism. We really need to stop racism. And I think that's the only way going forward.
And
It's not just that.
this. You may say that you have all of these different movements going, like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. Every single one of those movements has been compromised. It has.
Yeah.
They're not looking for equality. Feminism, racism, anything that goes against this type of stuff, they are not looking for equality. They are looking to be the top dog, to turn around and do exactly what they think everybody else has been doing to them.
See, it's like everybody's like, oh, we don't like doing this, we don't like doing that, we don't like the way the government treats us. So then one person will say, well, why don't you just stand up against the government? And they'll be, oh, we can't do that.
Exactly. Once
It's
again, there's that mentality that somebody else is going to come along and fix everything. And they're like, and once maybe even someone does come along, say someone does come along, and they slowly start gaining followers. What happens? JFK, Martin Luther King.
Yep.
They all die under mysterious circumstances, and I would love to get that lawyer that represented the Martin Luther King's family after his death, because he allegedly made it to the hospital alive, but was snuffed out there.
Oh yeah, but look, JFK, I think he was done in, right? I think he was done in by his own kind, right? And that is honest truth. He knew more. He knew more about
and he was about to come out with it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's the same with Martin Luther King. I mean, he was fighting for freedom for the colored people. I mean, that had been treated like slaves for hundreds of years. And what did they do? They didn't want to lose that, so they get rid of him.
Exactly.
Look, we need the whole lot of us need to stand up and say enough is enough. We need to change. We need to change the world. And I know there's people out there like, oh, but the aliens will be, there's them on TikTok, but the aliens are coming to save us, and you don't need to do anything because they'll come down in their spaceships and they'll take
waiting for somebody else to come and do the work. Get off your lazy asses, motherfuckers.
But maybe the extraterrestrials will come, but maybe they're waiting. Maybe this is why they're waiting. They're waiting for us all to rise up against all the world governments, right? And once we do that, they will come and help. But they're not wanting to because they're feared. I know they're feared. The aliens are feared because they think if they landed now, the world would turn on them. And so the governments would say, oh, they're going to kill you, or they're going to kill you. And they start shooting them, wouldn't they?
That's
Let's face it.
that's allegedly the big plan to get everybody in this mindset. The false flag alien invasion. We have
Yeah.
We're gonna have cataclysm over cataclysm. It started with COVID. Then we're talking about inflation, climate issues. There's going to be possibly even issues where biodiversity of life on Earth starts happening. We maybe start seeing extinction of several different species, which we are seeing right now. They're going to compile all of these disasters that suddenly come out of nowhere that have happened just because of natural Earth cycles that happen with everything on the Earth, everything within the cosmos. They're going to compile it, frame it into a certain frame, into a certain image, so that way everybody's freaking out, everybody's on edge, just trying to get by, and all of a sudden we got alien invasion knocking at our door. People are going to flip. That's the plan. People are going to flip. And people can say, oh, but people are better now. People are ready. Why do you think the governments, especially here in the US, have enough ground to really go after social media platforms now? Talking about like the latest TikTok ban that actually got signed in.
So when's it getting banned? Is it going to get banned?
It still has to go through like the Senate. It's not official yet, but it passed the first major step.
We're
always at the 11th hour.
That'll be traumatic for the Americans. That really will.
Oh yeah.
But there's other ways of getting that anyway without, there's ways of getting internet services in countries that you can't get internet services in, But no everybody can afford that though, because you have to have different servers and that kind of stuff.
VPNs and all that. Even the feds are starting to say it might be a good idea with everything that's going on with cyber attacks to use ad blockers, but all these social media companies are doing what they can to fuck up their services if they detect ad blockers because it loses them money.
Yep.
It's happening all over the place.
Of course, it's happening everywhere. It's happening absolutely everywhere, and there's nothing can be done for it. Get what I mean? So we've got about 11 minutes left with what you want to talk about now. Do you want to talk about that thing that you were going to talk about, or do you want to just talk about something else?
I don't know. We honestly go on. I mean, so you think about with that report from RO saying that none of the UFO incidents they investigated had any extraterrestrial ties.
Is no the Pentagon been said that they have to tell in the next 6 months? Have they not been ordered to tell who these?
There's allegedly been an ultimatum issued, yes, but at the same time, a lot of the major representatives that are speaking on behalf of this are also claiming they're getting men in blacked. Their words exactly.
See, look, this is what I don't get. I mean, all the alien stuff's been released now nearly, right? I mean, a lot of it's been released, right? All the pictures, everything, the videos and stuff like that. But everybody still seems to, like, some people are living in eggs, I think, with eggshells. They're like, oh, it's CGI. Look, come on, seriously. I mean, I just feel that people don't really want to think that there is life out in the cosmos. You know what I mean? I think they're happy the way they are on Earth. I think they're afraid that might change everything. Well, it will change everything.
It will. It does. Speaking as someone who's dealt with that ship for as long as he can remember, yeah, it does. It changes everything.
Yeah. You think about it. I mean, society. I wouldn't say if somebody says to me once, "Oh, if the aliens come, the society will break down and all that kind of." No, I don't think it will. I do think the church will get impacted slightly, right, with the really religious people out there. But I think you've got to remember too that a lot of the extraterrestrials out there have their own religions too, don't they? So they believe in a maker. They believe in a maker. They made it a creator.
You look at the case of Ingrid Cold. He allegedly went to a planet. that being allegedly was from a planet that followed a form of Christianity.
Yeah. You got to remember, too, there will be planets out there right now. And I was saying this to somebody actually the other day. There'll be planets out there right now where they're still in the industrial age.
Mm-hmm.
Get what I mean? So they'll be like lower than us, maybe 50 years behind us. And it'll be a while before they come into the thing. See, it's weird, isn't it? I mean, to think out there's thousands of races watching us right now.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them obviously are just like us. They're growing up the same as us. They're like, oh, I wonder when the aliens will come. You know?
Yeah, I know. And at one point during our history, the question of whether or not ETs existed was never really the case. The question was, where the hell is everybody? I mean, you think
Exactly.
about the diversity of life on Earth, all the different creatures that we have living in all these different sorts of environments and things like that. There's the possibility of more dominant life forms going into building up in these extremes. The thought that it doesn't
Yeah.
happen is absolutely out there. And,
Yeah.
Louise is right. There's a lot going on in recent days where the thought of ETs, in some cases, the exposure does seem to be helping. It's warming people up to the idea, and that's good. It's a step in the right direction. We still got
To
a
be
lot of
honest with you,
bullshit that we got to sort through, but the right steps are being made.
it needs to happen soon, I think. I think if aliens had to come out the more and land the more, I think it would probably stop the wars in Europe and stuff like that. Before, why are we fighting? We could be doing so much more. We could be flying through the space and exploring new worlds. Instead, we're shooting each other and fighting our stupid resources.
Mm-hmm. And
You know?
Lawrence goes to bring up a point. With so much information out there, you kind of wonder: Are we ready? When did I become Elmer Fudd? Are we ready and we don't know it? Here's one of those things. There's several aspects of this, and I'll personally attest to this, and many of you have watched my minor freakouts on the air dealing with my stuff, that we don't know for sure what's going to happen until it happens.
Yeah.
That's the simple truth. Some people aren't going to be able to
I
face
think
that type of question until they actually see, oh shit, that's an alien.
yeah, I think it will happen soon, to be honest with you. So I think it's going to happen soon, within the next year or two. I think it's just going to happen one day. You're going to wake up and they're going to be here. Right. Again, there's going to be the religious fanatics out there that will try and attack them, that will shoot at them, but obviously, hopefully, their shields are on, But you're going to get that. You're going to get people that cause problems, like the witch hunts. And they're again in the 16th century, 17th century, the witch hunts. You're going to get that. You're going to get, oh, they're demons. They're demons. They're coming to infect us with their bastard things and they're going to take us away. I mean, there's going to be folk like that, right? It'll just take time for them to learn,
And that's all we have is time. The time for us to
Yep.
achieve all these miraculous things is out there. But we always got to
Mhm.
keep moving forward. That's simple put.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something's going to happen, and we just got to keep going forward, and we got to keep going forward together. If you got
Yeah.
somebody you're lucky enough that you can share this type of stuff freely and open with, show them your appreciation in whatever way you can. Even if you just say, hey, I appreciate everything.
Well,
That's the
that's
first
just to
step.
see what happens.
I
That's
know.
to see what happens. So, tomorrow's guest, who have we got, Dakota?
You got that Rick McCallum that
Yes.
you were talking with on Emerald Isle. Out of curiosity, did you sort out the freaking time thing yet?
Well, I think it's sorted out. I'll message him after when I go because he's in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Because
So
it's like I remember we're in that time period where we're in between the daylight savings between U.S. and UK.
yeah,
So it's like it's almost
what's
5
that there?
o'clock for me right now.
Yeah, but what's that there for Louise? There, I think what
With what
happened.
happened with the Big C has helped awaken people to scenarios that they wouldn't have thought was possible. You're onto it. You're
Yep.
right. Simple put.
Yeah. If everything is an illusion, if you really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know something we should get in it one day is we should do a show on it is are we living in a simulation?
Ooh, that would be interesting. Ooh, excuse me.
I mean, maybe it's a simulation, the entire universe is a simulation, you don't know. See, that's an interesting one,
Maybe.
that, you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we have Rick McCallum, which I think will be an interesting show. He was also on Emerald Isles Paranormal Researchers. That's a big word that I remembered that. See, my brain's still
Buddy.
working. Go and check Emerald Isles Paranormal Research out. I was on their show last night, so was Dakota. You want to go and check their show out and their channel, give them a little subscribe, you know. I think on Monday, me and Jenny's got to be doing myths and legends of Ireland and Scotland.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, the Loch Ness monster is coming to get you. He's seen it with his own eyes. He has.
I seen it with me on papers.
Aye, it came out
And
of
if you
the
don't
water.
believe me, look about UFO. I mean, not UFO. Loch Ness sightings back in 2018. That was the very first one,
Yeah, he was there.
according to
He
the
was there.
register.
That. Hey, they're building a monument to him. Aye, the new. Aye.
Well, that would be awesome. Give me an excuse to go back to
You
Scotland.
could have you pointing going like that, you know.
Yeah, I think
Maybe they'll build
my
a
face
monument
would
to
be
you one
something
day.
along the lines of,
Maybe they'll build you a monument one day, you know. He brought peace to the world in space. You know, 0G floating about in space.
zero G orgasms with my baby mama.
Here, a question for you. Where did you get married?
There was, what I remember, it's a bit
Mm-hmm.
tricky dealing with this type of stuff, but
Mm.
from what I remember, there was a bit of almost like an artificial garden that the ceremony was held in.
Oh.
It was one. We got together relatively young, but somehow we're still helping each other out. And damn,
So I
time
just
travel is
wondered
going to
that
make
about.
things
I
even
just
more
wondered about
confusing.
that.
What's that?
So you could really be your father and your grandfather then.
Or there's a slight possibility that my wife and I are having love triangles with our future selves, like something out of a very weird Doctor Who fanfic.
But that I mean, you think about it. Could that be a possibility? If you went back in time, could you become your grandfather?
In theory, but there would clearly
What?
be some accidental byproducts from that.
See that makes you wonder. You know what I mean? It's like a paradox, that, isn't it? That's like a
It does make
paradox.
you wonder.
You know.
It does make you
So,
wonder
ladies
some
and
days.
gentlemen, I
Oh,
hope you all have a fantastic night. I
hold
hope
on.
the aliens come. Oh, what?
I know we're starting to get a little over time, but honestly, man, just with what I was talking about, what we should probably, get ahead
Let
of.
me
You
go.
think we should do it?
When you go, might as well. You do all the talking. I'll sit here and slip my raspberry.
Yeah, leave me to what happened the fucking very first official episode of this. I did most of the talking for it.
When you go.
All
So
right.
anyway, let's go.
All right. Yeah, trust me, it took a lot of moral debate on whether or not I should talk about this, but I want this chapter of my life to be closed. But earlier on in the episode, I said that there was someone who reached out that I honestly thought I never thought I heard from again. Those of you who've been watching the show in whatever format since the very beginning know that Bald and Bonkers was created out of a bit of a feud.
Mhm.
We learned that apparently someone who organized the group that Chris and I met through had gone to prison for some serious criminal allegations, and with what we were presented, there was a good amount of evidence to support that he had been involved with an underage girl.
Mhm.
And naturally, this is something that not just bothers both Chris and I, just because of the morality of the situation, but we both have had loved
Mhm.
ones affected by it pretty severely. I've
Mhm.
talked pretty open about my stuff. I'm working on a new book that ties everything up to hopefully clear up some of the confusion. But that's another thing. I feel like I need to address this. I don't want to give this any more airtime than possible.
Yeah.
There's allegations that this dude was allegedly set up, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, I'm in the States. I can't know the truth 100%. Because quite frankly,
Mhm.
I don't trust the people that are involved. And I'm saying this because I know this individual has been watching us. And it's
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
against him. If you are genuinely innocent, you have every right to go prove yourself. And I will be first to apologize. But in the event that you start seeing controversy stir up, do use your own discernment. Because I do not trust these people. They have shown that they are willing to pick at everything to try to tear me and Chris apart back, and they didn't realize how much we were going back and forth about this to try to prevent
Mhm.
that. Just use your own discernment if you start seeing anything about Chris and I here in the near future. That's all I want to say about it.
Yeah, look, and there's no point trying to contact me because I don't want to talk. So that's
That chapter of our
advisable.
life is closed.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
and
say it.
there's no point contacting me because I'll just block you every way possible. I'll just block you on Messenger, which I've tried, and I've changed my phone number now, so I'm afraid you can't there.
Yeah, I will say this. there, but I'll admit it was nice getting to hear from him again, and for like half a second, it felt like old times when we all first got started and felt like we
Mm.
were actually after something. But we got something better going on with Bald and Bonkers.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah.
got a good thing going. We don't want to screw it up. And I also
Yep.
want to address this because we do have some very high profile individuals that we've been
Mhm.
conversing with to try to get on for interviews of the show that wouldn't want to deal with that drama. So this is
Yep.
why it was advised to me that in some way they knew that I would address it the best way I saw fit to address it ahead of time in the
Mhm.
event something happens, so that way it's out there.
Yeah. Yep. You're 100% correct. As long as I'm left alone, I'll be happy.
Exactly. So
You
I
know.
think that covers just about everything. We're approaching the
Yes.
end of the hour, and we don't have our Jenny to have their famous Irish goodbye.
Jenny! Jenny! No, 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 no. Wait the minute. Wait the minute. Wait the minute. She's dyed her hair blonde again. Right, wait the minute. Here we go. I'll kiss on him, Jenny. Oh, hello there, Happy Island, you know. Good night, everyone. Wow. I think she would like it. It's my
Oh, God,
wow.
Chris.
Jenny,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Please don't hit me with
y'all
that
have a good
big
night,
stick.
y'all.
Goodbye.